Let's now understand the organization of economic activities as to what are the types of economy which are there. Now, generally, you can have two types of economy. One is the centrally planned economy, and the second one is the market economy. Although in most of the countries, generally you have a mixed economy concept wherein you have the advantages of both these economies which are taken together. Now let us see what happens in a centrally planned economy. As the name itself suggests, centrally planned. Now who's at the center? For any economy, the government is the one who is at the center of any economy. So therefore, in a centrally planned economy, normally it's the government who plans all the important activities. So the government plans all the important activities in the economy regarding production, exchange, and consumption of goods and services. Let's say you look at a country like China. In China, the government plans all the important activities so that the benefit is given to all the people in China. So China is more of an example of a centrally planned economy. Although they also have certain big corporates and everything, but the key decision in terms of how the economy has to function so that everyone receives the benefit is taken by the government. And what is achieved out of it is that inequality of incomes are reduced to many an extent in such an economy because whatever the government does, it does for all the people equally. It tries to achieve a particular allocation of resources. What's the guiding factor behind these particular allocation of resources? Again, the guiding factor is that everyone in the country should get benefited out of it, and consequent distribution of goods and services. So once the goods and services are produced, once they are done, then for the benefit of the society as a whole, for the entire country, the benefit should be flowing down. So that's what happens in a centrally planned economy where the government controls over all the resources so that, it's not that some people in the country use the entire set of resources available to the country for their own benefit, while the majority population at large is suffering. Let's see the next one, which is the market economy. Now, as against a centrally planned economy where the government decides what is to be produced, how the resources are to be allocated, and everything, in this case, what happens is that there is a free marketplace. In a market economy, what happens is that the way economy works is there is a set of people who are, let's say, buyers. There is a set of people who are sellers who also kind of produce goods either themselves or they produce it from the buyers and sellers. So in a market economy, the entire marketplace or the entire economy is more in shape of a market. All the economic activity in such economy are organized through market. So what happens is that the buyer buys goods. Suppose, the sellers have produced, let's say, 100 number of a particular good, and the buyers like it, and they say, no, we want 200. So there's a shortage of these goods. And what happens is when there is a shortage, the price increases. Now, because there's a demand for this and the seller wants to earn profit, what he will do next time around is that he will produce 200 quantities of goods. So your question of what to produce and in what quantity is answered. This now is governed by the demand of the buyers. So whatever demand the buyers made, that basically governed the next time around as to what is to be produced and in what quantities. Of course, the consumption again depends on the purchasing power of the buyer, whatever is the money that it has. And the allocation of resources is also governed through this route. So the market organizes Market organizes free interaction of individuals. Who are these individuals? These individuals are the buyers and the sellers pursuing their respective economic activities of exchanging their resources. So the buyer has money, okay? Buyer has money, seller has product. Sorry, the seller has product. So in a market economy, what happens is they freely interact with each other, and he's pursuing his activity of buying, he's pursuing his activity of selling, and through these two, basically, they try and cover up all the questions, all the problems which are there relating to an economy.